Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Real Business Roundtable. Today, we're going to talk about how to build a sales team.
Damn, I didn't have my coffee this morning. I have half the energy that you do right now.
I'm drinking water.
That was coffee.
Most small businesses will sometimes face challenges when trying to expand. And we all know if you want to expand, you should always try to build some type of sales process or hire sales professionals. If you're in one of the owners and you're not a sales professional yourself, it would be wise to make this as one of your first priority investments, because that could create an issue where you're dealing with drag and you're not growing. So, what I would recommend if you're looking to build a sales team, based on the first thing I would look at is how much business do you want to bring in? And this comes twofold. How much business do you want to bring in? And also how much business can you handle? You want to make sure that it's within your scope or your bandwidth that you can handle so you can properly fulfill or supply. Let's just say hypothetically, you're going to hire one salesperson. How do you do it? What qualifications do you look for? One thing that I'm going to recommend is sometimes small business owners will try to find someone, a salesperson who has experience in their industry. You need to understand that if you hire this person from your industry, they may bring your competitors' processes, bad habits, things that don't jive with you, or things that might just go against the grain when it comes to your company culture and policies. So it is a double-edged sword. It could be somewhat convenient to hire that salesperson. Hey, they're from my industry. It's going to be turnkey. They may do things that are just not really cool with you and your process. The other side that's not good, or could be good, is that yes, it's turnkey. It requires less hand-holding. This is the positive side. Less hand-holding. They know what they're doing. They know the industry. They just need to understand product knowledge, company knowledge about you and what makes you unique and what makes you different, and understand your policies. But if you do hire someone from your industry, just make sure that they're clear on your policies and how you run your company versus the competitor that they came from. Here's the other side. If you hire someone without any experience in your industry, they're a blank canvas. You can mold them and train them and get them to 100% be about you and how you operate. Will take a little bit more hand-holding and time and patience, but there is a benefit to hiring someone that is completely a clean slate. So the first thing is you want to try to make that decision. Do you want to hire someone with experience in your industry? Do you want to hire someone that does not?
And keep going.
One lesson, just like a visual. So someone with experience, okay, is going to come with less hand-holding, less training. Someone with no experience, more hand-holding, more training, more question answering, more nurturing, more patience. So you got to figure out, as a business owner or your manager's bandwidth, how much time do you have? How much time can you invest into that new hire? With experience or without experience. Once you make that decision, you can take the next step and actually look at some candidates. Go ahead.
So then the other aspect to that is there's two different options of salesperson for your company, and depending on how you're set up, either one could work or benefit you in certain ways, but it's either an employee or a 1099 as a contractor. So normally 1099 as a contractor, you either pay them almost like a retainer, or they're purely just commission. Now, this does come with a little bit more of a thought process, because if you're going to go fully with a 1099, you got to make sure that they're prepared for it. You got to make sure that they're set up for it. There's different things that you can and can't do, but it's purely just commission. They're going to have to either drive or it's not going to work out. Drive is in, be motivated to get those sales and to do, what it takes to be successful in that position. So employee or 1099, the thing that I like about a 1099 is that it's much more expandable. There's not as many, I don't want to call them, ties, but there's not as many obstacles to go over when it comes to hiring an employee, as many people may know. When you just hire or you just bring on a 1099 as a contractor, you can bring on 10 of them, right? You give them the training products, you set expectations, you give them a good margin so that if they make a sale, it's, they're making good money off it and they can create passive income through that. That's something that I kind of preach in a way, because it's being a contractor, being a 1099 for different businesses is a great way to build an income that you could rely on. But you have to have that drive. And so on the other side of that, hiring 1099 contractors as salespeople could be extremely beneficial. You could hire 10 of them, right? And you can honestly promote this. You see ads all day long about different solar companies, looking for people like this, where they're saying there's an opportunity here where you can make a commission and it's easy to make a sale, right? So there's that side of sales. You can speak more on the employee side, but the 1099 is something that I know a little bit more about and that I kind of do like, but that's what I've always been.
Well, I just wanted to add my 2 cents about the 1099. The 1099 person is pretty much self-managed. Mm-hmm. They were a broker of some sort. They were selling some kind of shit, and they have a proven track record of bringing in a shitload of sales. They are typically mature. They know how to manage their schedule. They're hungry as fuck. They want to make money. If they're not closing deals with your offering, they're moving on. They're just kind of like nomads. They're moving. They're looking for something to sell. I got contacted by a guy from I think he was from Romania. He wanted to sell our shit. And my only issue was his phone number. I said, "You have a Romanian phone number. It might spook people out. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm still kind of. I'll get back to him." But so a guy like that, he's just going around. He's looking for his opportunities. Yeah. He's looking for his opportunities. Those are guys, you set it and forget it. You just give them the slick of what you're selling. You're like, boom. You're like, you need some leads. Now here's the thing with that. 1099. Different states have different laws.
Yeah, that's one thing I wasn't going to touch on, but yeah.
The 1099, I know in the state that we're in, you're technically not supposed to provide a 1099 any tools or any leads, because they're considered an employee. There's like a 10-point checklist. So you can be really careful. So if you have a 1099 salesperson, you can't set their hours. You can't tell them to work a certain time. You need to ask them to get the job done. So like my old accountant years ago, he used to always say, you tell the 1099 to build a wall. He'll build a wall like a contractor. So you say, hey, go sell. And they're supposed to go sell. Now an employee salesperson, you can set their hours. You can set mandatory.
You definitely have more control.
You can set quotas. Wow, I had a brain fart there too. What's going on? I don't know. You can set quotas. You can say, well, I'd like to see at least $25,000 in new monthly revenue coming in from you. You have a lot more control when it comes to an employee. You have a lot more just hands-on. There are pluses and minuses.
You could also mix them up too, right? You can have in-house, you can have out-house, meaning 1099. But at the end of the day, building a sales team, especially for a sales-driven business, which majority of them are, is very important. And so the only way you're going to actually be able to get salespeople in to be interested in what you have to offer is if you have good compensation, if you have good commissions, if you have good, even benefits. So it's all about the way that you promote yourself at the same time, because that's the baseline to the marketing or the approach that your salespeople are going to take. We've talked about this many different times, but you got to be able to show them what your product does, what your product is, get them excited. You got to have that passion behind that product and the right words and the right, materials and and all that sort of stuff. And once you start bringing on salespeople, you get your first one done, cool. They're bringing in some sales, awesome. You bring in your second one, awesome. Keep going. You keep building on it. Don't stop. You just gotta keep adding people on, add some 1099s here, add some salespeople here until you have a really solid, robust sales team that, really is the driving, almost the not the engine, but it's like the engine of your company. I also wanted to mention biz dev as well, but you go on and
comp plans.
Yeah.
When you are hiring someone, you want to make sure you stay competitive because Johnny's XYZ down the street is going to be hiring salespeople too. And what if they're offering people whatever pay rate? The thing though that salespeople need to remember, what is the product? Is it sexy? Is it viable? Is it a product that will likely sell? Is it a disruptor? How different is it? Because if you're just out there selling number 2 pencils, how many other number 2 pencil companies are there? How much competition are you going to deal with as a salesperson? But they pay $100,000 base, but you're selling dog shit that there's 100 other piles of dog shit here. Hold on. Okay, here we have 100 dog shits. I'm responsible for selling one of these little piles of dog shit. Now let's think hard. Wait a minute, but they're paying me $100,000 a year. Base. But this is all dog shit. How do I differentiate my dog shit from Joe's dog shit, Danny's dog shit, Sam's dog shit, Cam's dog shit, Jake's dog shit, Andy's dog shit?
All right, you're going to, okay, yeah. Gotta reel it back.
I'm trying to prove a point so the audience understands that it's not all about how much you're getting paid. So when you are a salesperson looking at a sales job, think about the ease and the opportunity of you bringing in the most sales possible. Because if you're selling something that's like all these pieces of dog shit here, you're going to work 1,000 times harder to sell that one little pile of poop. Because they'll buy from you because they like you. But at the end of the day, they're going to go, yeah, this is the same shit as everybody else. He has kids. He's got a family, just throw him a deal. Now, if say you have another job out there and it pays $50,000 base plus 10% commission, but it's something that barely anybody can compete with, then you can see as a salesperson, I have an opportunity here to just clean house. I'm here to clean house.
I don't want to set the world.
I hope you understand what I'm trying to get at is when you are exploring, you need to make sure that the thing that you're selling has opportunity for you, the salesperson. It doesn't matter what the base is. You could get $1 million a commission to sell a cat fur ball that a cat spit up. No one's gonna buy that. But you could have the big boss behind the desk going, yeah, $1 million commission if you could sell this hairball. Doesn't make sense. So just try to get it. All jokes aside, I know I'm getting crazy.
But that also has to do with
Look at what you're selling. Look at what you're selling first.
But that's also for the business owner to know. Someone who is trying to build the sales team. That's what I was trying to get to before is,
I went off on Pluto.
Just not as many theatrics. But the thing is that you want to make your product special. You want to market it the right way. You want to market it in a way that it almost gets rid of some competition, because then it gives your salespeople the opportunity to go out and really sell this thing.
I totally missed my point.
Yeah. I kind of had yeah.
Nobody's perfect. back to comp plans, all jokes aside, you're going to have two sides of it. You're going to have straight commission guys, okay? 1099, or you're going to have base plus guys, which are typically employee. In some states, straight commission is illegal unless you make sure that they are getting at least minimum wage by law for the time that they're putting in. There is, I believe it, don't quote me on this, I believe that real estate is the only industry that's allowed. So for those companies out there, and by the way, we have done our due diligence. If you have straight commission reps and they are on payroll as an employee, not 1099, on payroll as an employee, and they're straight commission.
Wait,
you
on
gotta check,
payroll
you gotta
as
check,
an employee and they're straight commission.
You got to check to see if they have, check your state laws, your labor laws, to make sure that is kosher, because that might not be in your state. I know that real estate in pretty much almost every state is allowed to do that, but you want to just check your laws. So what we want to get at is straight commission, which is typically the most money that someone could make as an opportunity if they sell. So when you're trying to build a sales team, think about it. If you offer straight commission, just know that the only people that are going to apply are people who can handle that type of stress and responsibility.
Yeah.
They're typically sometimes turnkey, they're self-managed.
Is this an opportunity to get those people if that's what you're looking for?
But if you're trying to be more competitive and you want to hire some rock stars that have some
Experience
under their belt, you want to look at a base plus. A nice base salary, 50,000, 60,000, 80,000, 75, whatever. Plus, let's say a 5% commission if it's biz dev, 10% if they're closing deals, whatever. That's sort of what you want to consider when offering some type of like base plus. The next line item is providing, when you want to build a sales team, make sure you're prepared to provide them the tools and support to help them be successful. You don't want to leave them hanging. I have had salespeople who are like, leave me alone, I don't want to be bothered. Tried to offer like some support and some hey, and they were just like, hey, turnkey, like I got it. Okay, all right. But you do always want to help and offer the tools, especially if they're an employee, offer them the tools that they need to help them be successful. Let's say it's a prospecting tool, or it's a CRM, or it's an outreach email platform, or it's some type of
whatever
lead.
it may be. Yeah.
Just offer them the tools to help them be successful. And that comes from communication. Communicate with your team and try to understand what tools they might be familiar with to help them reach that high level of success. To build off of tools, feedback. Always get feedback from your team, either once a week or twice a week. Set it for Mondays to set goals for the week. Set it for Fridays to check in to see how the week has went. Discuss targets, goals, feedback from the team, feedback from prospects. Find out what the hell people are saying, what's going on, what competition are coming out of the woodwork. I just found out that we have a mysterious competitor for a separate side thing coming out of Los Angeles.
Having a update call, whatever you want to call it, a call once a week with you and the salespeople is very important. It helps with motivating them. You can kind of control the way that they feel. You're like, let's go, let's hit this week, let's hit this goal, let's do this. So yeah, and during that call, you get the feedback you need. You get information that you need in order to provide them with the best environment to be able to do the most, to be the most efficient.
Yep. And then lastly is setting goals. We always want to set goals. We always want something for the sales team to focus on when they're working every week. Am I hitting these quotas? Am I hitting these goals? Am I providing value to the company that I'm working for? Give them that opportunity. Don't go golf and don't go fuck off. Focus on your company And if you can't manage a sales team, hire a sales manager to do that for you. Don't leave them in the wind. We're going to do a quick wrap up, a quick kind of a snapshot. So the first thing to look at when building a sales team is experience. The second thing to look at when building a sales team is what will their status be? Status. Third, we want to evaluate what type of comp plan we are going to offer that salesperson. Fourth, we want to look at what kind of tools we can offer that sales team to support them to be successful. Also, we want to get feedback from them at least once a week on what they are experiencing when it comes to interacting with your potential market. And then also what are some feedback from them directly, like, hey, I'm dealing with this. I kind of am seeing this. I want some of this. This would make things so whatever. And then lastly, setting goals. Always set goals for your sales team because they'll have something to work towards. Don't just go blindly like, if you do whatever you do. No, set a goal. So that will wrap up today's episode.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Real Business Roundtable. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get notified every time we post a new episode. Also check us out on Instagram for updates, clips, and more. And we'll catch you next time on the show, Real Business Roundtable.